So, you've got a new dog. It's one of the most exciting things you can do. But let's be real, it can also be pretty challenging. In this explainer, we're going to break down the 10 biggest mistakes that new dog owners make. And more importantly, we'll show you exactly how to steer clear of them. Let's dive right in. You pictured this perfect life with your new furry best friend, right? But maybe the reality is a little different. Maybe they're chewing up your favorite shoes, barking at literally everything. It can be super frustrating. It's so easy to start thinking, man, did I just get a bad dog?
Okay, but here's the most important thing you need to hear, and it's a total game changer. Dogs aren't trying to misbehave. They're not being stubborn just to annoy you. They are simply responding to their environment and to what we are teaching them. And yeah, we're teaching them stuff all the time, whether we mean to or not.
I want you to imagine something. Picture yourself dropped in a brand new country. You don't speak the language, you have no idea what the customs are, and you don't know the rules. That's exactly what your new dog is going through. So most of these behavioral problems we see, they're not acts of defiance. They're just signs of pure confusion, coming from simple mix-ups that create stress for both you and your dog. So let's get into the diagnosis. We're about to walk through the 10 most common mistakes that cause all this confusion. Now, don't look at this as a list of ways you're failing, okay? Think of it more like a cheat sheet, a guide to help you spot and sidestep all the usual traps. First up, we've got mistake number 1, inconsistent rules. This is a huge one. One day, your dog is allowed on the sofa for a cuddle session. The very next day, they jump up and get yelled at for it. For a dog, this is just baffling. They don't get the concept of sometimes. They need to know what the rule is, period.
Mistake number 2 is not giving them enough exercise and, just as important, mental stimulation. You know, a bored dog with a ton of pent-up energy is going to find its own entertainment, and you're probably not going to like what they come up with, like redecorating your living room with chewed-up pillows. Think of walks and playtime not just as fun, but as absolutely essential for having a calm, balanced dog.
Okay, number 3 is a biggie. Falling into the punishment trap instead of actually training. Look, we all get frustrated. It is so tempting to just yell or punish them when they do something wrong. But here's the thing, punishment just makes them scared. And a scared dog can't learn anything. Their brain just shuts down. Our goal is to be a teacher they can trust, not a scary giant they're afraid of.
And that brings us right to mistake number 4, which is putting off training. It's so easy to think, oh, I'll just let the little guy settle in for a few weeks. But you have to understand, every single day is a training day. Waiting just gives bad habits a chance to take root, and trust me, they become so much harder to fix later on.
Next on the list, number 5, is poor socialization. And listen, this doesn't just mean letting them play with other dogs at the park. It means giving them lots of positive, happy experiences with all kinds of new things. Weird sounds, new people, different places. If they don't get that positive exposure early on, the world can feel like a really scary place, and that can lead to fear and even aggression down the line.
Mistake number 6 is one that's really easy to overlook, what you're putting in their food bowl. Overfeeding or just a plain bad diet can have a huge impact. It might not seem connected to behavior, but it absolutely is. The wrong food can mess with their energy levels and just their overall health, which, you guessed it, can totally lead to behavior issues.
Coming in at number 7 is not setting a solid routine. You have to remember that dogs are creatures of habit. They absolutely thrive on knowing what's coming next. When's breakfast? When's our walk? When is it bedtime? Having that predictable schedule gives them a massive sense of security and cuts way down on anxiety.
And for number 8, we've got a mistake that is just incredibly easy to make without even realizing it. Accidentally rewarding bad behavior. Think about it. Your dog jumps all over you, and you push him down saying, no, no, bad dog. Well, they don't really hear the no. They just know that jumping got them your immediate, focused attention. Same thing when you give in to a barking dog. You're basically teaching them, hey, this works.
Okay, let's pause for a second and connect a couple of these ideas. Remember mistake number 1, inconsistent rules? And the one we just talked about, accidentally rewarding bad habits? Well, they're really just two sides of the very same coin. On one side, you have all these confusing mixed signals, and on the other, you have crystal clear communication. Your dog is desperately trying to figure out which side you're on, and the most important thing to remember is this. For your dog, consistency is clarity.
Mistake number 9 is all about us and our expectations. We expect way too much, way too fast. We have to remember that our dogs need time. They need time to figure out their new home, their new family, and this whole new set of rules. Expecting them to be perfect overnight is just not fair, and it sets both of you up to fail. Patience isn't just a virtue here, it's a requirement.
And finally, mistake number 10 kind of wraps everything up. Not taking the time to understand your dog as an individual. You know, a Border Collie needs a very different life than a Basset Hound. Getting to know your dog's breed, their unique little personality, their energy level, that's the key. This is a partnership, not a one-size-fits-all instruction manual. Okay, we've diagnosed all the common problems. So now for the best part. The prescription. This is the clear, simple game plan that is going to completely transform the relationship you have with your new dog.
Honestly, the solution really comes down to these 5 simple but super powerful steps. 1. Be consistent. 2. Use positive reinforcement. 3. Start training on day 1. 4. Create that routine. And 5. Above all else, be patient. This right here, this is your roadmap.
Let's just quickly break down this key idea. Positive reinforcement. It sounds so clinical, but it's not about bribing your dog. It's simply about communicating clearly. Yes, that's it. That's exactly what I wanted. When you reward the behavior you want to see, you're tapping into the simplest way a dog's brain works. It's the fastest, kindest, and most effective way for them to learn.
And this right here should take a ton of pressure off. You're human. You're gonna mess up, and that is totally okay. Your dog doesn't need a flawless, perfect owner. What they desperately need is a consistent one. That consistency is what builds trust, it's what builds understanding, it's what builds everything.
So you see, avoiding all these mistakes isn't really about memorizing a list of rules. It's about a deep, fundamental shift in how you see your role. It's about going from just being a dog owner to becoming a great dog leader and teacher.
This right here should be your new mantra. Every single interaction you have is a teaching opportunity. So instead of just reacting with frustration when they do something wrong, stop and ask yourself, okay, what do I want them to do instead? And how can I guide them to make that better choice?
And here it is, the ultimate takeaway. This might be a little tough to hear at first, but it is also the most empowering thing you'll learn. Most of the problems we have with our dogs, well, they're unintentionally created by us. But that's actually amazing news. You know why? Because it means we have the power to fix them. As soon as we change our approach, the dog will almost always follow. By really embracing this way of thinking and by avoiding these common traps, you're not just putting out fires, you are actively building a stronger, happier future together with your best friend.
And this is the payoff. This is what you're working for. A dog that truly understands what you want, a bond that's built on trust instead of fear, a companion who is genuinely happy and confident, and, let's be honest, way less stress for you and everyone in the house.
So, we end with a question that's just for you. Your dog isn't asking you to be perfect. They're just asking for some clarity, some predictability. They're asking for a leader they can understand and trust. So, the only question left is, are you ready to be that consistent leader for them?